Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
My voice is
Prabhuji.
audible perfectly?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा. So please accept my humble obeisances. So today is, of course, today we are taking an additional session of this course, Life and Teachings of Four Vaisnava Acharyas. And in today's class, we will be covering also more of the Siddhanta that is preached by Srila Madhvacharya. And in the next class, we will be discussing the link between Madhvacharya Sampradaya and our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, and their teachings and our teachings, how they align and what are the differences. That we will be discussing in next class. So first of all, we will begin the class with whatever like philosophical concepts we were not able to cover in the last class, and we will be covering, and then later on we will be getting into today's session. So in the last class we were discussing mainly the Siddhanta, the Dvaita Siddhanta. We discussed the Dvaita Siddhanta in brief, and what are the 9 prameyas. Okay, so what are those? Shriman Madhvamate Harihi. Once again. Shriman Madhvamate Harihi Paratara Satyam Jagat Tattvato, and like that. So these are 9 prameyas. Lord Vishnu alone is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The material world is real. There are 5 eternal differences between the Lord and living entities, and between the Lord and the material world. And the living entities are Lord Hari's servants, and all living entities are distinguished by their different qualifications. And the 6th prameya is the real dharma of Jiva is bhakti. Then 7th one is that there are the 3 types of evidence, that those are pratyaksha, anumana, and shabda. And 8th prameya is Lord Hari is only object of all the Vedas. And the 9th one is realization of Lord is only possible by spiritual knowledge coming down in disciplic succession. So these are all the 9 prameyas. Now, what are the prameyas and pramanas? So through pramanas are the epistemology. Okay, these they are the evidences. There are many types of evidences through which prameyas are established. Okay, through which prama means knowledge. So the knowledge is there as prama, and through which we are able to know the prameyas, through which we are able to know that those prameyas. So those are called pramanas. Okay, through which we perceive that knowledge, through which we are able to perceive that actual knowledge. There are different ways. So there is pratyaksha pramana, there is anuman pramana, and there is shabda pramana. So which is greater pramana? Okay, and then there are different different classifications, and there is a discussion whole about like why the pratyaksha pramana and anuman pramana, they are faulty, and why do we have to accept shabda pramana. So these things in detail we will be discussing what Madhvacharya explained. Almost same things only, but still we will be discussing everything. Yes. And regarding in the last class, we were actually like Govind Madhav asked that regarding the Vishnu. Regarding Vishnu, here the first Prameya, if we see, then here it is concluded that Lord Vishnu alone is the supreme personality of Godhead. So, what is the viewpoint of Krishna in Vishnu? Madhvacharya says, Madhvacharya's viewpoint is that the forms of Krishna, Hari, and all the other incarnations, they are just the expansions of Lord Vishnu. So he considers Lord Vishnu to be ultimate and supreme personality of Godhead, and he understands that Krishna is another form of Vishnu, and in that way, it's just an incarnation of Vishnu, nothing else. Okay, so it's only one. There is no Heda in that way. Lord Vishnu is the only one, and that way he is the alone supreme personality of God. So that is his. But again, more we will have more clarification when we will be discussing about Madhva's viewpoint regarding the ultimate goal of life. So what does he consider to be the mukti or liberation? Yes, and regarding Govind Madhavu also asked regarding the Lord Vishnu's forms in 24 forms, controlling 24 different demigods that are in charge of 24 elements. So yes, Prabhu. Actually, what happened yesterday? No, day before yesterday, I actually got this information about the demigods who are controlling 24 elements, and this information is given in Laghu Bhagavatamrita. But actually, in Laghu Bhagavatamrita and also in Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Brihad Bhagavatamrita is written by Sanatana Goswami, and Laghu Bhagavatamrita is written by Rupa Goswami. So, in those books, the details about them are very little. Okay? I tried to find, but I found only for 10. I only found for 10 elements the forms of Vishnu and the 10 different demigods who are in charge of elements. Okay, but the names are given, but who is which demigod and which lord who is controller of that demigod is in charge of which element. So that is available only for 10 to 12 elements only. So maybe we have to see more other shastras, because I spent some more time in that and I was trying to do some research, but did not get more than 12 elements. If you have any reference, then please you could share. Okay. So in the last class, as we were discussing about the creation and the destruction, so what Madhvacharya says about it, the Lord controls 4 states of existence: awakening, dream, deep sleep, and liberation. Okay. So the jivas, they are either in these 4 types of existence. Either they are in Jagrata Avastha, or they are in Swapna Avastha, or they are in Shushupta Avastha, or they are in Turiya Avastha, or the 4th. Turiya means the 4th stage, or the liberated. Okay. When the living entity is liberated, that is the 4th stage of existence, and the Lord is the controller of all these 4 existences. Okay, 4 states of existence. So we can see either we are awake, when we are sleeping, then either we are in deep sleep or we are in swapna avastha. Okay, then after death, okay, a person who is qualified, then he will get liberation. When Lord Vishnu incarnates in the forms, okay, when he comes in this material world, so Kapata Manusha, when he comes in the form of a human being, so apparently it may look, oh, he is like a normal human being and like that, but no, and he is also controlled by 3 modes of material nature as we are. But it is not like that. The body, the spiritual body, which he is, the incarnations which come in this material world, their bodies are not products of matter, but they are Satchidananda Vigraha forms. So when Lord incarnates into this material world, like he incarnated in Dwapar Yuga, he incarnated Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Kali Yuga. So it is not that, oh, his body and soul are different. No, it is not like that. And his body is made up of 5 elements or that way. But everything is spiritual. Lord sends those who disregard him and blaspheme bhakti to darkest region of hell. And ye yathamam prapadyante tam sathaiva bhajami. Those who are devotees, so the devotees will go back home, back to God. And those who are engaged in fruitive activities, so they will stay. So they will always stay in this material world. Okay? And those who are blaspheming the Lord and His devotees and about bhakti, so Lord will also reciprocate them accordingly. So one devotee yesterday in Srimad Bhagavatam class we were discussing, and one devotee asked, Prabhuji, Lord is telling in Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priyaha. Lord is equal to everyone. There is no one dear to him, and Lord is not like he does not. There is no enemy of him. So how come we are able to see that when devotees are getting liberated, when devotees are going back home, back to Godhead, then why the other living entities who are also considered to be the children, who are also children, okay, even the demons, all are living entities, they are also children of God. Then why we are able to see that only devotees are going back home, back to God? So the explanation, one Prabhupada disciple only he gave, that Lord is okay. Lord is the father of all living entities. That is there, definitely there. And Lord is he is only samoham sarvabhuteshu. And also he says that according to like how you approach me and how you act, accordingly I will reward. Okay. And for example, a father is there and there is a son who is disobedient. Okay, and that son, and if he is not following the orders of the father, then he will suffer. Okay, he will tell, no, I want to be separated from you, and I will do whatever I like. So then that boy will go outside, and then if there will be so many problems because there is no support of the father, and in that way he will suffer. But then there is obedient student, obedient son. Then father will give him all his property, and he will think, okay, he's the daya bhaka, and he can be responsible. He's a responsible son, and I can keep my trust over him. So Lord is the father of everyone, but again, he is not like okay, he's biased. He's not biased. Whatever activities we do, accordingly only we get the results of those actions. But again, if a person is, if a living entity is very like following the orders of the Supreme Lord and the spiritual master, then automatically he will become priya. Just like a father, if he sees that his son is following his orders, then automatically that son becomes more dearer to him than the other son who is disobedient. So in that way, Lord is not biased. Lord is why bad things happen to good people. So it is not like that. According to your karma only, whatever actions you do in this life, you might tell, oh, recently there was an earthquake on 1st January 2024 when everyone was celebrating New Year. Then Japan was in Japan there was 7.6 magnitude earthquake. It hit, and it is reported that around more than 100 small and big earthquakes came after that. There were children, innocent children, and there were many other old people, many people. And there were some people who were so religious, they never killed they never killed an ant also in their lives. But still they faced such a tragic incident and they were killed mercilessly. Then people can tell, oh, we did so much to you, we were every day going and worshipping you, but still you are doing like this type of reciprocation we got from the Lord. So of course, whatever religious activities you did, but still whatever past reactions are there, whatever past reactions they are there in your previous lives. So accordingly, according to your level of reciprocation with the Lord, according to your worship, and in that degree, you have got the results of those actions. So in this life, you would not have performed any sinful activity, but you have performed in your previous lifetimes. For example, Dhritarashtra, he asked the Lord, Lord, I have not performed any sinful activity in my past 99 lifetimes. Then why I am blind now? Why I am blind in this lifetime? Lord Krishna told, you pinpricked, you pricked a grasshopper's eyes in your 100th lifetime. And that's why you are suffering the results of those past karmic reactions. So Gahana Karmano Gatihi. the activities of karma, the functions of karma are very subtle, and they are not able to, it's not comprehensible by the living entities. Lord is the controller, and Lord knows how to give the results of those actions. And the only way to come out of these karmic reactions is to perform ananya bhakti. According to the level of bhakti, our karmic reactions, they also get burned. On this level, we might not be always 24 hours, we might not be able to perform Shuddha Bhakti, but we have to come to that stage. Sometimes we are performing some bhakti which is karmic, which is associated with karma, which is associated with jnana, which is associated with some other element. And that's why our bhakti is not pure. Our nama, harinama, which we do, is not pure. It's nama parada. Okay, sometimes we do aparadha when we chant the holy name. And that's why we are not able to experience the results of the harinama fully. There is no problem with the harinama. Namnamakari Nijasarva Shaktis. All the Shaktis are invested in the Harinama. But the performer, the practitioner of that Harinama is not able, he is not able to get or enjoy all the fruits, all the reaction, all the fruits of that chanting of the holy name is not able to get, because his way of chanting, his performance of chanting is empty. So this is the whole thing. And the main point is that the Lord is not biased, he is equal to everyone. But again, if a person is performing devotional service on the Supreme Lord, then automatically Lord reciprocates with him. And he becomes dear to him. Then the fourth point, which Madhvacharya states, that the Lord allowed those who are between those two extremes. What are those two extremes? One, the people who are neither oppose the Supreme Lord, and they are not engaged in bhakti. So the Lord allow them to stay in this material world perpetually. Those who are in tamoguna and those who are in Shuddha Sattva guna, or even those who have not transcended Sattva guna, so they will be staying in this material world, and they will stay in this material world perpetually because they are in Rajoguna. So that's what it is stated in Bhagavad Gita, that urdhvam gachanti sattvastha madhye tishtanti rajasa jaganya guna vrittistha adho gachanti tamasa. Okay, those who perform jaganya activities, very sinful activities, they glide down to hell. Okay. So this is the same thing which Madhvacharya is explaining from Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Then he goes on to explain that Supreme Lord manifests his transcendental pastimes just to please his devotees. This is very important. Lord Sri Krishna, it is stated in Srimad Bhagavatam. What is that verse? First canto. It is stated, Atma Ramascha Munayo Nirgranthapirukrame Kurvante Haitukam Bhaktim Itham Bhuta Ganohari. Lord is told in Srimad Bhagavatam that he is Atma Rama. He is self-satisfied. Then there can be some Purapakshi, another opponent can ask that Prabhuji, if Lord is self-satisfied, then why does he have desire to become many? It is told in Srimad Bhagavatam when they are discussing about the creation. Then there is a description that Lord decides to become many, and then Lord glances on Rama Devi, and Rama Devi's expansion Mahamaya, she creates, with the help of Lord Shiva, she creates this whole universe. So then question can come, if Lord is Atma Rama, then why does this happen? Then why does he having this type of desires? So Lord, Supreme Lord, whenever he even comes to this material world, so it is told in Srimad Bhagavad Gita also, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha duskrita dharma samsthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. So the main thing to appear in this material world, or to create this material world, is just to please his devotees, or just to reciprocate with the devotees. Okay, and he is mercifully, as he is the Father. So those living entities who are conditioned, he wants those living entities to come back, to get out of this material world as soon as possible. And for them, Lord Sri Krishna, sometimes he appears himself or he sends his representative. So that's why the main reason for his appearance in this material world is the main reason is not even Vinashaya Dushkritam or Dharma Samsthapan. For that he can come, for that he can even send his another representative. He is Supreme Lord and he has so many energies. Some another can come and he can do Vinashaya Dushkrita. This Dushkrita people, they are nothing in front of them. Just if you send these energies, then they will kill. But Lord, the main reason to come to this material world is that he wants to reciprocate with the devotees. He wants to please the devotees. Paritranaya sadhuna. He wants to perform the pastimes with the devotees. That is the main reason for him to come to this material world. And the secondary reasons or the byproducts of his appearance are that he also destroys the miscreants and he establishes the dharma. Whenever if he protects the devotees, then automatically the dharma is established. Okay, so then he goes on to explain that all incarnations, the incarnations which happen, are classified into two. What are those? Jnana avatara and Bala avatara. Okay, not Bala avatara, Bala avatara. So in incarnations where the Lord preaches spiritual knowledge, like they are called Jnana avatars. So when Lord Sri Krishna, he sometimes empowers some living entity, okay, or sometimes he himself comes. So that is called Jnana avatar. For example, Vyasadeva, he is empowered living entity. Okay, he is empowered living entity, and he is considered to be literary incarnation of the Supreme. Then Kapila, Dattatreya, in that way there are other incarnations. So these are all Jnana avatars. And then in some incarnations, he exhibits incomparable prowess. Bala avatar. Okay? They are including Nrisimha, Vamana, Rama. Okay? So these are the two classifications of the Supreme Lord. These are the two classifications of the incarnations of the Supreme Lord. And Lord Krishna is Ubhaya Avatar. Lord Krishna, when he came to this material world in Dwapar Yuga, so he is Ubhaya Avatar. He is Jnana Avatar also in his Bala Avatar also. When he is in childhood, he killed so many demons. And again, Lord Krishna, he instructed Uddhava. And that is such a philosophical description we can find in 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So that's why Lord Krishna is considered to be Ubhaya Avatara. His Jnana Avatara also and his Bala Avatara also. Okay. Then in incarnations like Dhanvantari, Lord simply displays his compassion upon his devotees. Okay. Then in the beginning of creation, in the beginning of creation, there are only two abodes. Okay, there are only two abodes. What are they? Shveta Dvipa and Anantasana, which are manifested in this world. So here I would like to share the Goloka chart so that you can get more proper idea how does this work. 1 second. Manasvi Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ah, yes. Can you read this?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Dhruva Loka, right, Prabhuji?
Yes. Yes.
Dhruva Loka or the pole star is the abode of Kshirodakshai Vishnu within this material world. Upon it there is an ocean of milk, and within that ocean there is an island known as Shweta Dvipa. Kshirodakshay Vishnu as Paramatma, Super Soul is situated in everyone's heart and even within every atom. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you very much. So Dhruvaloka or the pole star is the abode of Kshirodakshay Vishnu within this material world. Okay, so Dhruvaloka is situated near the Svaraloka, okay, the abode of the demigods. You can see here it is Dhruvaloka, and upon this Dhruvaloka, there is an ocean. Upon it, there is an ocean of milk, Kshirodakshay Vishnu. Okay, and within that ocean there is an island. So where Kshirodakshay Vishnu is there, Kshirodakshay Vishnu is lying on the Kshirodaka Sagara. So there only there is an island, and that is called Shvetadvip. Okay? Shvetadvip. And in the beginning of creation, Shvetadvipa is there and Anantasana is there. So Anantasana is situated here. This is Anantasana. Garbhodakshay Vishnu is sleeping on Garbhodaka Sagar, and this the bed where he is sleeping, where the Lord is taking rest. That asana is called Anantasana, and that is considered to be the bottom of the universe. Okay? There's a huge form of Shesha, Ananta Shesha, and that is considered to be the bottom of the universe. So these are the two abodes which are there in the beginning of the creation, Shvetadvipa and Anantasana. And 14 worlds are surrounded. These 14 worlds, okay, what are those 14 worlds? These are the 14 worlds. Okay, starting from Satyaloka, Tapaloka, Janaloka, Maharloka, Swar, Uvar, Bhur, Atala, Pitala, Sutala, Talatala, Mahatala, Rasatala, and Mata. These are the 14 planetary systems which are there, situated in the stem, just sprouting up from the navel of Garbhodaksha. And on the lotus, which is there, which is coming. So on that lotus, Lord Brahma is residing. Okay. Then these 14 worlds in the beginning of creation, they are surrounded by 7 coverings, 5 gross elements, Mahatattva and Ahankara. See, can you see that here? These are the coverings: earth, water, fire, air, ether, false ego, and so this whole universe, it is having layers. These are the layers, and each layer is like, for example, the earth layer is there. So the layer is having like 10 times bigger. Water is 10 times bigger than the earth, and fire is 10 times bigger than the water. The whole circumference of it, which is there, which is surrounded in the universe. So, and then air is 10 times bigger than the fire, and ether is 10 times bigger than the air. Then false ego is 10 times bigger than the ether. Mahatattva is 10 times bigger than the false ego. So in that way, it increases, and in each element which is like there, so there actually the earth personified, he worships, she worships Lord Varaha. Then water personified worships Lord Matsya. Fire personified worships Surya Narayan, and air personified worships Pradyumna. In that way, Mahatattva personified worships Vasudeva. So these elements which are there, they are having their own, like, it's a presiding deity. So like whole, they have that personality, okay, and they are in charge of that element, and they have their own supreme and their Lord who is controlling, and he is only giving the power to that earth personified to perform their sevas. Okay. So there it happens. Then what else? Vaikuntha, and beyond these coverings is Vaikuntha. Okay. Apart from this whole universe, oh, there is Vaikuntha, and Vaikuntha is surrounded by Viraja river. Okay. So in this Golok chart, you can see above this universe, there is this Viraja river ocean. Viraja river, Karana ocean, and we are on this side of ocean. We are on this side of Tata, and our goal is to go to the other side of the Viraja river, okay, the spiritual planets. So that's why we are called Tatastha. Either we are in this side or either we are in other side. And Vaikuntha planets, they are situated on the other side of the Viraja. Then the abode of Shvetadvipa, the abode of Shvetadvipa is located in the middle of the universe, and the abode of Anantasana is at the bottom. The Supreme Lord resides in Vaikuntha, and each of the abodes, Shvetadvipa, Anantasana, there are two sections, Muktasthana and Amuktasthana. So everyone in the later section remains there until the end of Brahma's life. And when lifetime of Brahma is over, everyone goes to Muktasthana along with Brahma. So it is like that there are different categories of living entities, and according to their qualifications, what is that? There are certain living entities. They are only qualified to stay in the place of Amuktasthana or the conditioned living entities who are there in Shvetadvipa and respectively Anantasana. Okay, so in Anantasana also there are some living entities who are conditioned, and there are some living entities who are Mukta. Okay, those who are Mukta, and they have different like for the people who are Muktas. Okay, so they are also deciding there, and also there is another section of conditioned living entities. So then what happens when the Brahma's life is over? Then all the people who are staying in Amuktasana, okay, Amuktasana or the conditioned living entities, then at the end of his life, they become liberated with Brahma and they go to the Muktasana. So explicit details presently, I don't want to go into very much details, but this is some type of general idea we can get that Muktasthana and Amuktasthana, they are the two sections which are there in Shvetadvipa and Anantasana. And there is this whole process, like how does this happen? So it will take so much time. Now, regarding the conclusion regarding Lakshmi Devi, Madhvacharya states, Lakshmi Devi is very dear queen of Lord Vishnu, and she also possesses Satchidananda Vigraha. Lakshmi accompanies him to enjoy pastimes with him. She has eternal names and forms like Shri, Bhu, Durga, Maya, Jaya, Kriti, Shanti, Ambharani, Sita, Dakshina, Jayanti. In that way, there are many expansions of Lakshmi Devi, and she assists whenever Lord takes the form in the whenever he incarnates into this material world. So the Lakshmi Devi also accompanies. Okay. So yes, and Lakshmi Devi is the controller of three modes of material nature in her forms: Shri Devi and Bhu Devi and Durga Devi. So in the form of Shri Devi, he is controller of Sattva. In the form of Bhu Devi, is controller of Rajoguna. And in the form of Durga Devi, is controller of Tamoguna. And Lord Vishnu's bed, sitting places, throne are all their expansions of Lakshmi. Okay. And in that abode, there is an opulent palace of Lord Vishnu called Aparajita, and wherein there is a divine bed made of gold that is just suitable for Supreme Lord. So the Vaikuntha planet, the palace where the Lord is residing, that is called Aparajita, and therein there is a bed that is made up of gold, pure gold. Okay, there Lord resides. So this was conclusion regarding Lakshmi Devi. And now we will get into a little bit, we will cover what Madhvacharya tells about the material world. So Madhvacharya is telling, one second. Yes. So he tells, in the beginning of creation, Lord Vishnu, by employing his eternal material nature as ingredients, manifests the three modes of nature: Mahatattva, Ahankara, the gross elements, 14 planetary systems, etc. So Lord Vishnu, by employing his eternal material nature, okay, Mahamaya, as ingredients, it then eventually the creation happens. And all these objects which are there, we are able to see, and they have names and they have forms, and they are temporary in effect, but they are eternal as the cause. Just as there is a pot, and it is the another form of clay only. In effect, the pot may be temporary. After the pot breaks and it goes into a powder, then again it becomes clay. So in form, in the cause, the pot is existing, but in effect, the form of pot is temporary. Although temporary, but not unreal, like the flowers in the sky or hair on us. Okay, they are not unreal. So the conception of Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya, that is completely wrong. Then he goes on, Lord Vishnu purposefully creates this universe as a manifestation of his pastimes. Thereafter, he intentionally annihilates it. And at that time, the material world remains in the form of its. When the destinies of the living entities have been sufficiently aborted, then he annihilates the universe. And while creating the universe, there is a sequence of cause and effect. And when the universe is bound up, that sequence proceeds in reverse order. Okay? So it is told that what happens when, so I was explaining regarding this. So what happens when the annihilation happens? So earth will merge in water. Water will merge in fire. Fire will merge in air, and air will merge in ether. Ether will merge in ego, and ego will merge in mother. So in that way, this destruction happens. Okay. So cause and effect is there. Eventually, the cause is there, and then effect happens. In the annihilation time, the same process happening in reverse order. The effect is merging in the cause. Okay. So that is the process. Then there are to establish this. So he explains. He quotes many verses from Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya. He tells about that how Prakriti is the cause, the creation, and it is not unreal. Okay? It is temporary, but it is not false. Okay, so just simply we can read it. Keshini Mataji. Govind Madhav.
हाँ प्रभु जी.
Yeah, bro. Could you please read?
Whatever all glorious Lord Vishnu, the best bestower of benedictions, has created for the benefit of the fallen conditional souls, it's certainly factual and not false. The Supreme Lord is factual and his glories are also factual. I established this conclusion in the sacrificial arena of Brahmanas so that I could attain the happiness of liberation. O Indra, O Vishnu, this material world is related to you and is therefore real. Even the demigods, who are presiding deities of water and other material necessities, confirm this conclusion regarding your creation.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji.
Okay, So there are many actually quotations regarding how he is establishing that material world is real. Then later on, when we were talking about there are 5 categories of distinction. Okay, this is one of the prameyas, one of the 9 prameyas established by Sri Madhvacharya. So Sri Madhvacharya accepted 5 kinds of distinction. What are those? First, the distinction between the living entities and the Supreme Lord. Second one, the distinction between one living entity and another. Third distinction is between the Supreme Lord and the material world. Fourth one is the distinction between the living entities and the material world. And fifth distinction is the distinction between the different objects of the material. So these are the 5 categories of distinction. In this connection, Sri Acharya Pada or Madhvacharya has written in his Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnaya, Jiveshwaryo Bheda Bhida Chaiva Jiva Bheda Parasparam Jadeshayor Jadanamcha Jada Jiva Bhida Bhida Tatha Panchabheda ime nitya sarvavasthasu nityashah muktanam cha nahi yante taratamyam cha sarvada. The distinction between the living entities and the Supreme Lord. Lord Vishnu is eternally distinct from the individual living entities. When materially designated, the Supreme Brahman appears as the living entities. This is an unauthorized opinion of Mayavadis. Brahman is supreme and unlimited, whereas the living entities are infinitesimal. Brahman is free of all faults, and the conditioned living entities are full of faults. Brahman possesses transcendental qualities to the fullest degree, whereas the individual living entities can possess transcendental qualities only to a certain extent. Brahman is eternally liberated, whereas the conditioned living entities are entrapped in the cycle of repeated birth and death. And considering this, there is no scope for attributing simple oneness to the individual living entities and the Supreme Lord. Even in the liberated state, there is an eternal distinction between the living entities and the Supreme Lord. Even when liberated, the individual living entities, they remain distinct individuals that engage in the eternal service of Lord Vishnu. Then he further goes on to explain the distinction among living entities. Second distinction. The conditioned living entities. In the material world, some people are happy, some are unhappy, some are poor, some are rich. Thus, each individual living entity suffers and enjoys the results of his fruitive activities. The liberated living entities. After liberation, all living entities enter the one transcendental realm, where they engage in a variety of services to Lord Vishnu according to their qualification. Thus, there are distinctions in the various services and feelings of happiness of the liberated souls. Okay, so this is there. Then the distinction between the Supreme Lord and the material world. The Supreme Lord is the embodiment of knowledge and is eternal and unchangeable. On the other hand, matter is inert and thus devoid of knowledge and is perishable and changeable. And objects with such contradictory qualities can never be one and the same. This is the distinction between the Supreme Lord and the Jagat. And the distinction between the living entities and the material. The living entities are conscious entities. Therefore, dead matter which is without consciousness cannot be identical with the living entities. The distinction between products of matter. So, poison causes death, whereas nectar awards life. So, poison is bitter, whereas sugar is sweet. Such contradictory natures are found in material objects. Therefore, objects with opposing qualities can never be considered one and the same. These 5 distinctions are eternal at all times and at all places. Even if the opposing qualities are lost, the distinction is not lost. For example, a clay pot may be smashed to pieces, but even though it loses its gross form, it remains clay. So mainly when it is in cause, so we can tell the cause is there, but still the nature of that will be the nature of that effect will be always there in the cause. Then evidence regarding this distinction. So it further goes on to explain different distinctions. So here we can just read. In the material world, there are 5 kinds of distinction. The distinction between the living entities and the Supreme Lord, the distinction between matter and the Supreme Lord, the distinction among the living entities, the distinction between the matter and the living entities, and the distinction among the products of matter. And these distinctions are factual and eternal. If there were an origin of these distinctions, then there would be also an end to them. However, these distinctions never disappear. These distinctions are not imaginary. Otherwise, such imagination would one day be dispelled. Therefore, only ignorant people conclude that there are ultimately no distinctions. So this is also quoted in Vishnu Tattva Nirnaya and Paramashrutihi. It is stated. So this was the evidence. These were the evidences of that there are distinctions, eternal distinctions, and they are factual and eternal. Okay, and then further, Madhvacharya will talk about more little bit about mukti and other things that we will tomorrow, along with the Gaudiya Vaishnavism, we will cover that also. Okay, so for today, that is it for today. Any questions? There are there then.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for your class, Prabhu. Today I wanted to ask you about that. You told that Krishna is Atmarama, and why does he have to then take? Why does he have to create living entities? So for that you didn't give answers.
For that,
For that you didn't give answer. I mean, you answered that why he takes appearance. He takes appearance to satisfy the living entities, to for the pleasure of his devotees and all that you said. But when he's Atmarama, where is the need for him to create living entities?
yes. So when Supreme Lord is Atmarama, in order to enjoy the different pastimes, Mataji, in order to enjoy different pastimes, see, Lord is Atmarama definitely, but along with performing different pastimes, he also liberates the other living entities, because there are some living entities who are conditioned, and the
No,
creation.
that living entities will be there only if he creates them, no? No, you said that he's Atmarama. That means he's only him. There's nobody else. Then he creates living entities, right?
Yeah, he creates, but the living entities are having their own karma.
When they're not there, how they'll have karma?
No, Mataji, this karma, for example, when the Lord glances the Mahamaya or the Ramadevi, so he glances along with the swabhava of the living entities, along with the karma of the living entities.
No, that is
So,
later, no, Prabhu. I'm talking about the Atmarama part. When you said he's Atmarama, at uh, that point of time, there was nothing. That means he created living
this
entities, is it?
universe. Yes, so he is Atmarama.
Are you talking about Shirodakshai Vishnu? Are you talking about Krishna?
Yes. So mainly, accordingly, about this Atmarama thing. So the explanation which is given that the Lord, in order to enjoy transcendental pastimes or in order to enjoy Virya Rasa, he comes to this material world and he enjoys, and to reciprocate with the devotees. For that, he comes and he expands himself, and along with that there are other activities happening, like the conditioned living entities. They are also, their karmic reactions are also destroyed, and they also get
That means to say that the living entities are eternal and they were never born or they were never created. I mean, this
they are eternal,
creation,
Mataji. Sorry if I meant something else. By creation, I meant that he just makes it in effect, because they are already there in the body of the Supreme Lord, and it's there in the cause form. But when he infuses, then the living entities, they get different forms, different names. But in cause, they are also distinct only, but they don't have any names or they don't have any bodies, material bodies, but they are conditioned. And in order to enjoy transcendental pastimes, the Lord desires to become many. And also by creation, many things happen. Many things, many activities are like he's performing. So all the conditioned living entities which are there, they are also distinct eternally. So it is not that one point of time the energies or the jivas were one with the Lord, and then eternally jivas are also distinct, and there are some condition, and then they will become the conditioned living entities will eventually become like
Yeah,
living
now it
entities.
makes sense.
So
Thank you,
it's
Prabhu.
very incomprehensible to understand the fall down of Jiva. That is another big topic. Because if everything is eternal, then how come a Jiva can first time and be with the Lord and come to this material world? It's another very big topic, Mataji, and very controversial. Even GBC has published a book quoting from different, like he's quoting from Brahma Sutra, Vedanta Sutra, and some other scriptures, Puranas, Upanishads. So that is also very different. Some have different idea. It was like there are some different things, and it's very controversial. I don't want to go.
Yeah, we don't have to do this. No, I was just talking about this part only,
Yeah,
because when you said it seemed that Krishna is Atma Rama. Then why is the need for him to create? Then you went on to say that uh, he comes down only for. So I was just wanting to um, clear this part that living entities are eternal,
yeah,
and and that the Lord comes down then to claim the ones
yes,
who
ma'am.
are yeah. That's
Those
all,
who are
Prabhu. I just wanted.
to reciprocate with the devotees
Yeah,
when he comes, and mainly the primary reason is that only he wants to.
yeah,
Along with
yeah.
that,
But for
he
that primary reason to be there, the living entities have to be eternal.
yes,
Otherwise, there's no
there is no.
question of.
So mainly the concept of Lord becoming many is only thing that
Yeah,
the
yeah.
and living entities, they get forms, and they because he infuses them with this glance, and
Yes.
the
I mean,
glance
they
only
are
is
in the
Prabhava, time, everything is
cause
infused.
form, and then one becomes many, because you are saying that because they're already there eternally in the cause form, but then
In cosmos.
he yeah, so then he gives them the bodies and creates this world, everything
Yes.
for those who are uh, against him, like kind of
Yes.
vimuk for
Mm.
those people. Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu.
And also
Thank you.
when I was talking about his Madhvacharya was discussing about that annihilation happens when annihilation happens when the destinies of the living entities have been sufficiently awarded. So as I told, explained regarding the kahana karmanopati, the functions of karma are very subtle, and there are definitely, if every all the living entities are liberated, then why then there will be no further creation. Yes, if all the living entities are liberated, then there will be no further creation. But the living entities whose karma reactions, they are in subtle form, so and they are yet to be fructified. They are yet to be fructified, and eventually. So for that, then again there is creation happens, and the all the karmic reactions with those living entities, they are also infused by the glance of the Supreme Lord, and then the jivas, they accordingly they enjoy their resultant actions. So mainly the point is sufficiently awarded, and then only there is annihilation of the universe. There was, I don't know, I think Prabhupada told also that, but it is told that presently the activity, the job of the job of our Yamaraj has increased because many people are going to Narakana. So the all the Yamadutas are engaged heavily. They are working for many hours all day. No time to sleep because many people are coming. So demigods, they are some people, okay, when they are being punya karma and they are
Because of Kali Yuga, bro.
okay, yes.
Thank you, bro.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Govind Madhav.
You just mentioned some book by GBC.
GBC, yes.
Which book is that?
There is in Veda base, Bhaktivedanta Veda base, which is
Uh-huh.
published. There is a book called Origin of the Jiva. Origin of the Jiva. And they have actually given so many evidences, and they have reconciled actually whatever descriptions are given about the fall down of the jiva. So they have given all the quotations from different scriptures from Vedanta Sutra and from different Veda Upanishads and Puranas, and also they have reconciled Prabhupada's instructions with other Acharyas' instructions. So the book name is Origin of the Jiva, that was published by GBC, and it is available. I don't know if
Thank
it's
you.
available freely on website, but it is available freely on Bhaktivedanta Vedabase, which is also like made by ISKCON.
Prabhuji, on that Golok
One
chart.
second, just 1 second. Yes, bro, please.
Yeah, on that Golok chart, when you were explaining about the Dhruva Lok, can you bring that chart again? I have one question particularly
Yes.
on
Can you see
here.
that now?
Yes. So the Mataji read about this Dhruva Lok, that entire text, and there it says that Kshirodakshayi Vishnu as Paramatma. Now, on the above that text, it's Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is shown, and below that there is a Paramatma.
Yes.
So, but in the text it says that Kshirodakshayi Vishnu as Paramatma, and then there are two separately shown. I did not understand that.
Prabhu, it is stated in the scriptures that Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is already residing in Kshirodaka Sagar. So above Dhruvaloka, there is this ocean of milk, Kshirodaka Sagar, and there Lord Vishnu is residing as Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. And Kshirodakshayi Vishnu's another expansion, another form, he like Kshirodakshayi Vishnu. So he is having another expansion and he is expanding in Paramatma and is residing in everyone's heart. So that's what I heard from senior devotee who was explaining this whole Golaka chart. And one devotee again he questioned this. So there he told that Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is having expansion and in the form of Paramatma, he is residing in everyone's heart. But Kshirodakshayi Vishnu is also there in Kshirodaka Sagar.
So is this Paramatma for this particular universe, or?
Yes, Prabhu, Paramatma for this particular universe, because every universe has different like creation is happening and each.
Okay.
So there could
I
be
got
then there can be different like Kshirodakshayi Vishnu in that planet, and there also Lord will have expansions. But presently this thing is happening only for this universe.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
And
If you
very
see-
first slide, today's very first slide, Prabhu, I think
Yeah.
it was Creation and Destination title.
Destruction, creation and destruction.
Oh, correct. Sorry, Creation and Destruction.
Yes.
And in that, the first bullet describes about 4 different states.
Of existence.
Yeah. So for the if someone is neither awake state or not in a dream or the deep sleep, so
It-
is there like something missing there, or there are only these 4 states?
There are only 4 states, Prabhu. Like a living entity, like I am that presently, any living entity in this material world, he can be either in these 4 states only. Can you tell any other state of existence like he can be?
Now, I'm not in deep sleep. I'm sleeping, but I'm not in a deep sleep. Neither I'm dreaming, neither I'm awakening.
But you are sleeping,
So, but I'm not in a deep sleep.
and you are not you are dreaming also.
Yeah,
So
that
that
is
is
also
just lying
possible.
down. That is just
No,
lying
Mr.
down.
So that's not the state then.
Then that is just that is awakening state only. That's just you are jagrata, but just it's that you are just lying down. Nothing else. But when you are dreaming, then that is different state of existence. So here,
Right.
through existence or through the state of existence, we don't mean the activities of the living entities, because there could be many living activities. Even it could be just lying down, and you could be in different. So there could be coma. For example, people go in coma. So they go in coma. That is just simply deep sleep. Nothing else. That is in third state of existence. They don't dream and just go in deep sleep like that. In that way, these are the 4 states of existence. And
Lot
this,
of time,
Bro?
we are lying on the bed. We are not neither sleeping, we are not dreaming, but at the same time we are not even awake. So that you are saying that it is just lying down.
Yes, Prabhu, it's just lying down. We are just lying down, and we are, I don't know, we have closed our eyes. Okay, we have closed our eyes, but still we have not gone into the dreaming state, or we have not gone into deep sleep state. If you are just lying down, and if you are not dreaming also, and if you're not in deep sleep, then uh, then then what, like, then what you are doing? Just you are just sleeping, and then you're closing your eyes, but you are still awake. If I call your name, immediately you'll wake up like that, because you're awake, but you have just
Okay.
closed your eyes.
Okay.
So that
So
is
as
not
per
considered to be separate state of existence.
okay, thank you, Prabhuji. As per what you explained today, if Madhvacharya they believe Vaikuntha is the
Ultimate,
is where the
go after
Vishnu lives. So
Vishnu.
they are not aware about the Golok Vrindavan.
Madhvacharya knows everything, Prabhu, but in he knows everything, but mainly he preached only that about Vaikuntha planets, because he explained regarding that all the living entities, they are meant to be meant to be in the state of dasya rasa. All the living entities, they should be engaged in dasya rasa, and that's what he preached. So Madhvacharya himself knew, but according to whatever mission he had to perform, so he told only that much. And further,
Okay, Prabhu.
we there could be some specific mission to perform, and that much only was revealed.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Last question, Prabhuji. The text you, I think you read, is that from that Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnay or some other book?
Last one, yes,
No,
regarding
few
the
pages you showed, and I think those 5 special things. Yeah, is this from the Mahabharata Tatparya Nirnay or some other book?
no, Prabhu, this is from Vishnu Tattva Nirnay, and I think I have to just again check. This is also another book by Madhvacharya only. I
Uh-huh.
have to again check, or maybe disciple of Madhvacharya, because there are, as I told you before, there are 32,000 books of Madhvacharya. So again, I have to check
Right.
which book he is referring. So it's a big list of
Okay.
books. But definitely, bro, this should be Madhvacharya's book, as per my understanding, because usually
Uh-huh.
whenever they quote from Madhvacharya's teachings whenever they are explaining this. Even they are quoting about this Upanishads. So Madhvacharya has quoted in his book. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj is quoting in this book. So that's why. So most probably Prabhu Vishnu Tattva Nirnay is the book written by Acharyas.
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Nice class today.
And also last just announcement, if any devotees, they are, again I'm just announcing, last time also I announced. If any devotees are interested in joining Sanskrit grammar course, so they could join. I have already shared the link in the WhatsApp group. Okay, so in that I already shared the course trailer of that course, and what I will be teaching and how many days I'll be teaching and what will be the timings. Yes, so mainly this course is meant just for like building up the fundamentals. It will be a stepping stone for, it will just create the stepping stone so that we can get into more like details of, and we can study more other Vedic scriptures, and we can go for further study. So this will mainly build your fundamentals. Like if a person does not know anything about Sanskrit grammar or Sanskrit literature, so through this he will be introduced by uh, the main fundamental concepts of Sanskrit grammar. In that way, that foundation will be built, and from there, then you can learn. There are many things in Sanskrit grammar. It's vast. Even the literature is vast. Many things are there. So usually, even in Vedic Gurukul times, what used to happen, the child used to be sent in the Gurukula, and they used to learn Sanskrit grammar for 12 years. So usually Sanskrit grammar and literature they used to learn properly for 12 years, and after learning, after 12 years, he'll be like big Pandit. He will come. He can just refute all the shastras. Everything he knows, what is correct, what is not. So in 12 years, he will be like Pakka. He will have very profound understanding about all the Vyakaran Shastra. Even in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he opened a school. It's there in Chaitanya Chaitanya. He opened a school where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to teach Sanskrit grammar to his disciples. And even other Acharyas also. Like for example, Jiva Goswami, he has made his own Vyakaran. Like made his own Vyakaran. Vyakaran means he has just spiritualized the Vyakarana grammar. So like for example, there are some concepts, so he has given spiritual names. Because grammar, the field of grammar is told in scriptures to be like a desert. In desert there is no water, and Srila Jiva Goswami is the one who has brought water in the desert. So that's what he has done by writing like his own Sanskrit.